Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is USA Global TV and Radio. Our show today is The Business Talk Show. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, the president, founder, and chief listening officer here at our network, where we celebrate you and elevated listening. Our topic today is the business of music with Dr. Madalene Chan, who's one of our team members, and she'll be joining us from London. Before we bring her out, we're welcoming the star of our show, Mr. CINI. Come on out. How are you?
I'm doing just great. Happy New Year. This is our second episode of the Business Talk Show in the new year, and it's exciting because the business of music is changing all the time, and I think our guest today knows an awful lot about that. I'm excited about that. I also want to talk to her about how music can create a turning point for companies, for organizations, and how she might be able to help with that. So this should be a great conversation. Thanks for inviting me to take part.
Absolutely, Al. Well, I have you on Spotlight. I'd love for you to share with our audience. We have new people joining us all the time. We have people coming back. What does CINI do to help other people? And what are you going to be doing this year that's different, or maybe an addition?
Well, I've always been about helping organizations find their purpose. And that is always what we've done with the Brand and Culture Alignment Toolkit, which still exists and it's still around. But we found a way to take the insights from the Brand and Culture Alignment Toolkit and compress them into a 4-hour team building event. We call that ProFit for Teams. And we're now offering that this year. We have our very first delivery of the new year coming up in just about a week. And we're all really excited about that. It's a 4-hour workshop that connects the members of your team with the purpose they serve, and uses that as a springboard to motivate them and energize them and get them aligned with what it is they're trying to accomplish together. So thanks for the chance to talk about it.
And that's so important, especially as we start out this new year and people are working maybe in a different way, or maybe they're going back to the office. Maybe they're looking for ways to really come together to be able to work cohesively as a team in support of the goals and the missions of their organization.
That's a great way to put it, Doc. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let us bring out our guest today. Dr. Madalene Chan has a special place in my heart, as do you, Mr. CINI. She actually started on one of our shows when we first started, and she was writing a book at the time. She's a vocal coach. She's an international award-winning singer-songwriter. And she saw something in me in terms of wanting to be a singer, which is quite interesting because I always did want to be a singer. And so she has given me vocal lessons, which is amazing. And this week we are actually launching our first single together along with Mariska Duprie. It's called Listening Lazies. So before I bring her out, I just want to play, even though this is the business show, I think it's kind of important that we celebrate music in business. We celebrate the creative arts in business. Let's take a look at her clip, Follow Love.
By your love, what you giving me is just not enough. I need a love to take me higher and higher and higher. Every step I take, I feel more awake. Getting closer now, I feel so alive. Stopping me, this is how I live. Ever closer now. Just follow love. Love will take you there. Just follow love. Follow me. Just follow love. Love
always surprises me, that.
Welcome, Dr. Chan. I've been working on that timing, getting you right in there as soon as you're jumping off that cliff.
Perfect timing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. JACALYN. And hi, CINI. Hi.
Dr. Madalene Chan, what a pleasure. It's always great to see you.
Thank you. And Happy New Year to you both. Happy New Year to your beautiful channel.
Thank you.
It's
You
alive.
bring so much energy to everything you do. So thank you. And I know, Al, you had the first question just teed up in the beginning.
We had a little bit of a chance to talk about it. One of my favorite Einstein quotes, among many, actually one of them, my favorite Einstein quote is one that wasn't published. He once described a game of golf this way. He said, in a universe that's made of time and space, nobody's ever devised a better way to waste both at the same time. Which I'm not a golfer.
That's deep.
Wow.
That was one of his quotes. He tried to learn golf in Princeton and gave up after one lesson. That was one. But my real favorite quote is the thinking that got you where you are is not the thinking that gets you where you need to be. And the reason why I wanted to talk to Dr. Chan about that is that there's so many companies out there that think the solution to their problem is same old training and learning and more of the same old stuff. And the truth is, a lot of the work I've seen Dr. Chan do, that I've seen Madalene do over the years that we've known her, is create creative turning points for people so that with music or with creative ideas, they can make that right turn that they need to make to move to the breakthrough level in their business, and not just, there is a level above competency. And I think Dr. Chan has a great way of helping companies find that.
Thank you so much, Al, for that. To be honest, guys, I've never thought about approaching corporate companies or companies because I actually have a fear about it.
Really?
Isn't that weird? Yeah. I'm so confident when I'm talking to people one-to-one that come to me or I approach them. But about addressing a company where you go and have a meeting and a talk addressing a whole group of people in an office environment scares the EPGPs out of me.
And that thing that you're afraid of is exactly what they need delivered to them. I mean, that is your gift, Doc. And I'm just glad to highlight that. There are an awful lot of people that watch our program and listen to our program that are going to want to take your contact information and reach out to you and maybe put together a corporate event around what you do. Because I think teaching people how to sing, teaching people that they can, teaching people that it doesn't matter how good they are at it. It's just a way things change when you change. And I think that's a big part of your value proposition.
Thank you. Well, I was adding to that, Al and Dr. JACALYN, is the way that, I don't know, it's just come through my mind now. You know, I always have downloads at the time. Dr. JACALYN knows this. And I was thinking the way that I would approach these corporates, you know, in the way they say, you've got to have the hard sell, you've got to have the strategy, you've got to have the team building, you know, when they go away and do all these activities. To then work together and become a unit, strong unit. Well, we've got to go a stage further. Do you know what we've got to do? Because Dr. JACALYN and I covered this in one of our courses about when you have to sing about what you want to achieve. Now, let's say, for example, a company wants to promote a product out there. And you've got them going, yes, you know, we've got everything all in place. Let's promote it. But let's say they're having a little bit of a bad day. And so that person's thoughts is going into that product. So the way that we break that down, I don't know, is go back to the child, you know, essence and sing about the product and sing about how it's going to be beneficial to that certain market or that the person or another company or everything has got to be sung. Because when you sing, there's no room for judgment. Because when everybody's singing, nobody has the time to be focusing on, oh, this is rubbish, this is this, because when your voice is singing and you're in tune with the whole the whole product, the whole energy, the whole circumference of it, there is no room for ego, because you're coming from your heart. And in the heart, when you come from your heart, ego cannot even intervene.
Beautiful.
Wow, that is beautiful.
I don't
And
know,
something I want to add on to that is, Mr. CINI, you experienced this. I experienced it. Several of our team members experienced it, working with Madalene and feeling like we couldn't sing, even though you have music in your background, Al. Remember, you were taking the course and you said, no, I can't sing. And we knew you were a singer. We knew you had a beautiful voice, but yet you didn't want to put it out there. And I don't think I have a beautiful voice, but I didn't want to put my voice out there either. And when we do, it's sort of like this liberation. It's something that you're letting go of, that fear of sharing your voice. And we all have a voice. And I think, to Madalene's point, if we were to put it out there, it helps us rise to another level.
I think that is the basis of a terrific corporate workshop. A lot of small business owners could benefit by that. There are a lot of teams within large companies that could benefit by that. And, that whole idea that you want to hear people's voice, an awful lot of people don't have the courage day to day to speak up the way they really ought to. And asking them to sing rather than speak turns on a completely different part of their brains. And that was one of the reasons why I brought this up. I remember vividly, in my experience, learning to sing as part of the listening mentor training, that your brain functions differently when you're singing than when you're speaking. It's a different part of your brain that wakes up. That part of your brain, once it's awake, can take you in all kinds of interesting directions. I just think it's a real value, Dr. Chan, and people should be calling you, asking you for your help with that.
Thank you, Al. And it's not just the brain, it's connected to the heart. Because the heart, when you're singing with your heart, you see, you've got your brain and the ego, then you've got your ego heart. Mm-hmm. But then you've got your real authentic heart, your childlike, your who you are really. And when you tune into that, that's when everything that's when magic happens. That's when the frequency becomes real. You know, when you hear a singer and gives you goosebumps, that's because they're singing with their heart and their soul, not their ego heart. You know, when some people, like, they sing and they blag it, but because they've got the technique, they can blag it. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're connected to their heart. And you can feel it. You can feel it when someone is truly aligned with their heart, with their passion. You can tell. It's almost you can sense it.
That's amazing. And I am living proof that you could teach anybody to sing.
I can teach anybody to sing. Honestly, I really can. To be honest, when I've been teaching, like in Malta, when I was teaching, I never, even though I went and promoted myself, I never got the masses. I didn't. Even though how much promotion I did, it was about meeting someone in a shop, a mother who wants their daughter or son, or someone who needs to recover. There was a typical story of a woman who she was in a wheelchair and she couldn't speak. But she used to listen to ballet. So I started working with her with music, the kind of music that she likes. And then I started to tell a story through the music. And we started to slowly start to move little tiny, with the thoughts, the visions, and the music. She started to have some movement in her hand. She started to have movement in her jaw area. She started to come alive, not just about the music, but because she was in the music. She was, the image. So the vision, the frequency, the vibration. And even though she wasn't physically dancing, I took her to a point where she used to dance.
Oh, that's powerful.
That really is powerful.
You know what I'm taking away from what you're saying, Doctor, is that music also brings people together. And Al, with the work that you do with brand and cultural alignment, it's because you look for a way to bring people together so they're on the same page, so they're rowing in the same direction. And I can envision like a workshop where a team of people work on a song together about their mission or about their company or their product. And that is a shared experience.
Yeah. Sorry, Al.
We're creating a whole business model for Dr. Madalene Chan. And I think it could be very lucrative for her. And I know it could be very beneficial to a lot of people in business. So it's wonderful.
It
Absolutely.
would, for both of it would certainly break down my inferior complex to address corporate companies, because I used to go to corporate events like big car shows and big software companies, and I was eepy-jeepies. I just couldn't speak. I really was. At the same time, they looked at me as if to say, "Oh, go away." But that's because I produced that. I produced that fear, projected it out, and magnetized it. So people treated me the way that I was feeling. And so this is a barrier about corporate companies that I have to work at. And maybe Dr. JACALYN, you're in tune with me, because this, being here and talking to you both coming from corporate journeys and experiences, it's making me feel that yes, I would be welcomed. You
certainly would on this subject, because that is a I in order to get people to work together, one of the things you have to do is to help them overcome all of their individual differences, the things that they feel make them separate from everybody. When people sing together, they become connected to each other. And that creates a connection that I think immediately leads to the next step, which is how can we work together? Now that we've sung together, how can we work together? And I think that's the kind of turning point a lot of companies are looking for, and that's where the money is for them. Honestly, you make more money when you're
Sorry, I don't know much of the money energy. Yeah.
What I'm sensing also is that, and Al, you and I experienced this. You were talking, Dr. Chan, about feeling insecure and inferior. Well, before I started singing, and I still feel a little bit of that. That's what we feel individually, because we feel like we're not enough, we're not good enough. And so I think it's a basic feeling that people have around a number of subjects. And the singing, you just break through all that. I think that's why so many people sing in the shower, they sing in the car, because there's nobody there to judge them. And you just feel so liberated by being able to share your voice.
Yeah, great point there. I totally resonate with that. And the way that singing has been throughout eons of time, when they used to praise the sun and the rain dances, and they danced and they sang. When people didn't have the power to talk to someone who was superior to them, I mean, a long time ago, and they were in the fields, in the cotton fields or something, or on the railway track, they would sing to bring out their expression.
And that was something that takes pressure off all this too, is that you're not asking people to sing a song that you give them. You're asking them to sing their song that is inside of them.
Yes.
Which means they get to pick the notes. They get to sing the notes that they're comfortable singing. They don't have to hit somebody else's notes. They only have to hit their own. And that takes a lot of pressure off of people.
It certainly does. But at the same time, Al, what I found in my experience is that if you ask people, I want you to sing what you feel, or what you would like to sing, and they go, oh no, because I've learned that song, I want to do that. So I generally get them first to sing a song that's very easy for them, even a nursery rhyme song, something that they're comfortable with, to at least for them to hear their voice, and for me to hear them, because when you say, I want you to sing something that you feel, or that's something that's you, they'll go, come again, what? They look at you as if you're on a different planet. And I did try that and it wasn't working. So it's good to, first of all, it's all about something that you already are familiar with. When you're something familiar with, then you have a confidence. Therefore, you can bring out your voice. And when they sing, through my experience, I can tell if there's blockages in that voice, not about what happened to them or anything like that, because I don't get the vision, but I feel it. And I don't say, oh, you've got this and this. No, I make it fun. I make it fun where yeah. So that's what's important in the way that you have to have something that's familiar territory in order for someone to open out.
I love it. And in a corporate setting, whether you just started with the company yesterday or you've been with the company for 30 years, whether you're 18 years old or 68 years old, the experience is the same. And everybody's voice is equally valuable. Everybody's voice is equally impactful. It's a great way to level set a team so that the hierarchies are broken down and everybody really can see each other as the people they are, not just the titles that are on their business cards. That makes a huge difference. So I'm glad we had a chance to talk about that. And I know we also want to talk about the music business because in the way I remember it growing up, my father was a singer, and I still remember the 45 RPM inserts, the little purple plastic insert that you put inside of a 45 RPM record so it would fit on the spindle.
I remember that too.
Oh,
I know what one of those is. I mean, you show that to somebody in their 30s today and they'll look at you like, what is this? But I remember those things. And the music industry's changed a lot since we use things like that, hasn't it?
Sorry, are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, right, sorry. I was waiting for Dr. J.
Oh, yeah. No, that's on you.
Sorry, I'm getting confused. Yeah, it has changed phenomenally. You know, it was where it went into vinyls, 7-inch, 12-inch vinyls, and where it was all about the CD, the 12-inch, the album cover. It was all about the covers. And then, of course, because it went into digital, the value of CDs and production of CDs were not able to match the demand as what it was before. But there has been an uprising of the vinyl coming back. My nephew is 19 years old, and he is there listening to. He got a gramophone. He got a record player, and he's there going to all the high street market vinyl shops, and he's just buying them in. He just loves it, and he's introduced to a different style of music other than the music that is kind of force fed to us through certain radio stations because they get sponsored or they're part of a package with the record label and with the radio pluggers. So yeah, things have immensely changed. The corporates, like the big giants, as far as the big legend giants of record labels and record artists, celebrity artists, that's all dissipating. It's all dissipating so that there's plenty to go around for everyone to have that chance. And the mainstream social media platforms allow them to do that. And of course, YouTube, and there's many tutorials about how to prepare and how to get your recording package, your demo, how to prepare yourself mentally into the recording studio, all this, how to understand about the music industry. now more than ever, people that are in the music industry are now offering music industry courses where they're working in conjunction with universities. So whereas before it was a taboo subject as far as education, as far as universities about certain about the music industry, now it's actually a big qualification for it. So yes, things have changed, and for the better, I believe, for the better.
Well, we just watched your music video, and it was great. And
Yeah.
just from the production point of view, I mean, you write a song. I'm assuming you wrote that content. That's your song.
No, it's a what we call a team, a dream team. We call it in the music industry a dream team. And a dream team is you can have songwriters that do collaborations. For example, with myself and Dr. JACALYN and Mariska, we've done a collaboration on writing lyrics, bringing the vocal melody out, and then having the composition, a musician to be able to put down the chords, chord structure.
And you record the audio in a studio, I guess.
Yes.
And then you record the video under it. I guess that's separate. So that
the video is
then
separate.
you connect the two. Yeah,
Yes.
see, that in itself is a huge departure in the music business from a strictly auditory experience to now a more multimedia experience. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Right. And Al, as you know, we have a new intro coming for our platform, and you're doing the voiceover, plus we have the music and we have the video. So it's 3 different components, and it really, it's quite an interesting journey because everybody has to get credit for their part of it. And the interesting thing that I learned since meeting Madalene and going down this road is that there's so many artists who are starving, that this is not their first job. This is their, they're doing something on the side. They love to sing, but they can't earn enough money to be able to quit what it is they're doing. And I think it's also because the platforms, these streaming platforms, they take such a big percentage, not unlike books, for example, when you're selling books. So I think that in order to give people an opportunity to share their voice, it's really important that they get credit for their work.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you, Dr. JACALYN. I mean, there's many people, many aspiring artists and songwriters that want to write, but when they work with a production team, they don't allow. It happened to me, actually. I wasn't allowed. This is before being assigned for the one single deal. This is other deals that I had. And basically, we were not, even though we could sing and write, we weren't allowed because the money is in the composition and the lyric. So every time the song is played on any sources of like TV, radio, even big concerts, there's different rates for each group. You'd get paid a lot of money, even sync fees. And sync fees is if you get your song onto a film, being a film track, or on a series, or on TV, or an ad. So that is a lot of money. And it was known then that when you were a singer, you were not allowed to be part of the writing process. Not until a few hits down the line, and maybe the second album, you were allowed to then write. That, however, has changed now, thankfully.
That's so then the question is, I think corporations have a way of ruining things, big corporations.
Yes.
And big corporations really own the music industry. I mean, they do. They just do. Many of them do. They're organizations like Sony. Not saying anything bad about them necessarily, but when you've got corporate executives that are making judgments about which products are marketable and which aren't, it becomes really hard to break out in a field like that with something unique and something different, because they're looking for what they've sold before, not looking for what somebody might want. How do you, what I like about the way you approach things, Madalene, is that you completely break through all that, don't you? I mean, you don't care what the corporate executives think, do you?
That's an understatement, right?
No, I just follow my heart. My boss is the universe.
Oh. And how has the universe been treating you?
Oh, superb, wonderfully. I mean, I was told that my life wouldn't really start and people won't really get and resonate what I'm doing, thinking and feeling until I was 50 plus. Because I remember writing with a producer, writing about being free and being connected with love and being connected with a higher purpose. And he said at the time, and he was right at the time, actually, he said, there's no way on this earth those type of lyrics will be acceptable. I said, one day they will. He said, not in my lifetime.
Wow.
Because I've always been writing for the future. Although I didn't think it was the future, I believed it was what was going on. I believed that's what was going on in everybody's hearts, but I was proved wrong in every way. But now is the golden age. So now, finally, my time's arrived.
And speaking of your time arriving, Dr. Chan, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about the work you're doing with Songs for You and how people can actually create their own song, either with you and your team. They can sing it themselves or you can sing it for them. Tell us more about that.
Great.
I work with a small team of songwriters, musicians, and we really were discussing how something is missing in songwriting, how that we always are introduced to a songwriter's song from their perspective, from their experience. And it was all about, the love thing, the broken relationship, the this, everything, all same old, but beautiful in its own essence. And then I said to them, when I was doing Colours of the Voice is my singing technique that I work for people to connect their inner voice and outer voice. When it's a divine balance, when it's balanced, it creates harmony and it allows you to bring your true voice and your true self through. And when they did, they were so relaxed, so happy. Big changes started to happen in their life. Things started to manifest because they were at a place of a certain high vibration, because they were harmonized with their energies. So what I'm going to say is that I then thought, if we can put this into a song, because if they're relaxed when they're bringing out their tones and their natural expression of their voice, from the deep roots of a tree right up to the stellar of the stars and the universe, throughout the inner voice. And I was thinking, well, sometimes people don't want to keep relaying a story of pain that they've had to keep going through. But sometimes, in order to help others, they have to keep relaying the same story again and again. Now, there is a problem with that. The problem is, once you've dealt and released it from your cellular, once you've dealt and released it from your conscious, subconscious, and then if you keep talking about it by healing others and keep talking about your story, you are reactivating it. You're telling the universe that you want that reactivated. So if it's told in a song that when the song was composed, when the person was singing it, it was in its whole pure creation energy, with the right vibration, with the right amount, with the emotion attached to that pain. All you have to do is then give that song to someone. And it's the vibration and it's the frequency that's detached from you now because you've moved on. But that vibration, that song that will be played to that person that needs help where you were a long, long, long time ago, you're helping them. You're going to get the abundance, and you're going to give them the tools and the right the right energy and the right depth of pain and connection that person's soul is requiring.
So when you say you sing into the future, this is what you mean, I think. That is,
I think so.
It's such an interesting way to put it. And, I'll go back to what I said at the beginning of the show. What people don't want in business is to talk about what they do for a living. They really don't. I mean, everybody thinks they do, but they want to talk about who they are in their, that's what they want to answer the question, who am I? Yeah. And that's only partly what you do for a living. Maybe in a lot of cases, not even at all what you do for a living.
Exactly. And Al, even to enhance that and broaden that is the reason why they do team building. That's when they go away as corporate company, the guards down, and they play volleyball, or they go out on a singing karaoke or something, and everything that they felt about that person, or they looked at the cover of a book rather than actually looking into the contents, like the cover of the book of the corporate company, not the actual contents of that individual person. Then they will see the strengths and pull them together and have respect for each other.
So people watching and listening ought to call you to find out how you can, and this is an event you can stage.
I play.
Because I've seen you do it, and because you've actually taught me how to sing. I know there's real value out there. People that are looking for the kind of turning point that you offer. And I just think it's a terrific way, a much better way to pull people together in a team building event than just bringing them out to play paintball or go bowling. I mean, those are fun events.
Yeah.
But this, getting everybody to sing together, sing separately and then sing together. I mean, you don't have to worry. You never ask the question, what do you do for a living? You don't care what they do for a living.
No.
All that matters is there are people in this room, and we want these people to share their voice with each other.
Enjoy the experience together.
Absolutely.
I think that's great. Could you sing for us here?
What do you want me to sing? Okay. What would you like me to sing? My own song or
your own song? Sing about that fear that you said you felt. Could you sing about that fear?
Oh, my own song. Oh my gosh. Okay. Do you know what? I've just cut. Oh, okay. I've got to do it. I can just sing. I can just sing.
Sure.
Let me see. Release your soul. Release your soul. Release your soul and set yourself free. Set yourself free. Set yourself free.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Isn't that great?
I just made that up.
And that's a turning point. I think that's wonderful. That's beautiful. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
And but everybody does.
Everybody does. Al, I know that you're a crooner.
Mr. CINI, why don't you sing for us?
Mr. CINI.
That's the one thing I'm not going to do today. I'm just not going to do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the business talk show. I don't know. Maybe let me think about it. I don't know. Let me think about
And
it.
While you're thinking about
it, Dr. JACALYN can sing, and you know what? What'll happen? Dr. JACALYN starts singing. I'll join in. You will naturally join in because you won't. Yeah, watch what happens. Go on, Dr. JACALYN. Anything.
I was going to show you. I was going to show your website, but
come on, we got to go with this.
Remembering back to a time my life was complex yet fine. Jet set life, glamour, style, designer clothes and shoes galore. Confusion is all around. Take people on a merry-go-round. I left my corporate life. 6 figures, glitz, I wanted more. Too much pressure and self-doubt. Right, that's it.
Wow, I love it. But we need to do a song that we already know. Familiarity.
I just want you to know you asked for it. I'm about ready to do it.
Good. Do it. Didn't I tell you? Go on then.
Dr. JACALYN mentioned that we're going to be recording a voiceover for the new year for USA Global TV and Radio. And it just so happens I have the preliminary copy up here. So I'm going to sing the voiceover. Are you guys ready? Okay, not all of it, just one paragraph. But
it doesn't matter, just
go for
it. Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we're leading the way in dynamic global entertainment and news by connecting you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day. How was that?
Oh, I love it. You know, Al, I loved it when you went all around the world. That's beautiful. All around the world.
I actually felt that while I was singing.
It did.
It felt, I mean, that it makes a point that you can't just make by. Now, I'm not going to sing it for the real voiceover. That would be a little bit too weird. But there you go. And it turned out to be more comfortable than I thought. So,
wow. I love it. But I was thinking about, naturally, you know, when you sing a song that's familiar, like CINI or I don't know, any other song that, you know, then everybody else knows that song and they will naturally sing.
Well, let's try it.
I think it's, if you were to ask,
go on then.
If you were to, I just want to add, if you were to ask the typical company to sing the brochure they use to describe themselves to their audiences,
yes.
I honestly believe after they've heard it sung, they would go back and rewrite it.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at the way that TV ads now, ads in the UK are singing like they're doing a musical. It's incredible. It's changed because it needs to lift the vibration, because there's, with our speaking, sometimes there's certain words that has that lower vibration and fear base. But when you lift it up and sing it, you change the whole, you transcend it. You, alchemize it to a different state.
Great way to put it.
I just got that through now.
That's a good one.
That's going to be on the spelling bee show.
It should be.
Alchemize. So let's do that song. Let's do the song.
What song are we going to do? Which one?
Sunny.
I don't remember the words though. Sunny. Yesterday my life was filled with
joy.
Sunny. Let me and really oh, the dark days are gone and the bright days are here. My son
See?
I think the only thing I'm worried about now is that Sony's going to want a licensing fee for us covering that song.
No, because if it's without the music, it's different.
Okay,
it's the music.
Let's run that by legal and see what they think. But I'm
sure it's that. Well, it wasn't that great, so they might say I'm not even going.
They might actually fine it. We're more likely to get a fine.
Yeah, fine.
No, they'll just ignore it and say, "Oh no, that wasn't the song." No, that definitely wasn't the song.
I have to show your website before we have to sign off because
Great.
I think it's really important. Okay, let's see. So this is Songs for You. And tell us a little bit about this and where we should go.
Yeah, if you go on to, well, basically, I was telling you about we're a group of songwriters. So if we go on to my life story, which is that's the pinnacle point of what it is, tell us your story. And what we'd like to do is work with anyone that wants to tell their story, a celebration. Could be about a wedding. It could be engagement. It could be, I don't know why, but I just came up with this, about the birth of the baby, but prior to the birth, where the mother writes about how excited the mother and the parents do. So when baby is born, when baby's about to be born, they're playing that song, how happy the parents are to welcome their new son or daughter, and it will calm the mother. Oh yeah, and saying goodbye to a loved one when you didn't get to say what you wanted to say. And also and I'm borrowing this title from Dr. JACALYN's book, From Adversity to Awesome, coming from a place of pain and limitation to a place of freedom and self-expression.
Beautiful sentiment.
Party. Yeah, let's party. Let's say like the girls at the office want to give the boss a present, or somebody wants to actually talk and address to their boss, but they're frightened. Put it into a song. It takes away that edge. They go, okay, you've got a problem. So if people have got a problem with human resources or something, the human resources have to listen to the song. And what you do is listen to the song, listen to the problem, but without getting attached to the emotion. Reacting with the fear or anger. It's almost, you can just listen as if you're a third person listening in. I don't know. I just feel, honestly, that's going to be the new 5D business.
It's a beautiful website.
Yeah, examples of our work. And there's Martin, which is our studio, is Music Bonker Studios in Braffin in Hertford, a lovely cottage studio. It's beautiful. And that's where we did the part of the, we recorded the song for Resolution and Dr. JACALYN's song, What Was I Thinking Back Then, which is going to be released this year. And here we go. There's myself and there's Martin Jimson. He's a songwriter, music producer. He used to be in the corporate world. Oh my God, Al. He used to do everything with, can I say 3M? With 3M. Anyway, I said it. Sorry. And basically he just did he was just for international, agent for them, and he spent 30 years all doing that. Finally, upon his early retirement, he said, that's it, I'm just going to do what I feel, and that's my music. Then Audi serves with special forces in Iraq. And he is constantly surrounded with death, with destruction. We can't even comprehend. No. And he's seen a lot of his friends go to another thing, and he had a passion for writing. So his escapism, his channel, is being connected to his creativity, his heart, which has helping him to get through it, to the point of he wants to come away from what he's doing.
Beautiful.
Because he doesn't feel it serves a purpose anymore. His creative heart does. Now, Martin, he's a sweetie. He's 20 years old. He's only young, from Ghana. And the great thing about Martin is that he's super talented in website development. He was the one that developed this website.
It's beautiful work.
He made that website. And he had for 3 years people well, I guess he let them take advantage, but he didn't know, because he's in Ghana. He didn't know an international market. So his dream was to get into an international market. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that took advantage of him. And then he met myself and Dr. JACALYN, and his life changed. He came onto the show, on the Film and Music Show, and his life started to change because he started to believe that he was worthy.
Okay.
There's beautiful Dr. JACALYN there, and Dr. JACALYN is wonderful in the way that once we've created the songs for the clients, whatever style they want to, in whatever life story they want to portray. I mean, it has to be constructive. It hasn't to be destructive, where you want to hurt someone or take someone down. That is, I don't care how much money they offer me, I ain't gonna be part of that. Pooh. No way. No way. Not at all. That rubbish. I won't be. No matter what. And Dr. JACALYN will, because of her experience in the TV and radio, she's going to offer classes, one-to-one, where the singers of the single that they want to bring out, or even they've got another singer fronting their song, but they're able to talk in a more confident manner with elevated listening, to be able to talk about their life story in their song and be comfortable about it, and being able to be interviewed on radio stations and feel at ease. With grace and ease, we need to move now. And Beata, she's a photographer and a videographer, and we're also adding someone else new on there, and that's Petros. He's been on the show, Film and Music Show, Gulgazia. Oh, we haven't put him on there yet, but we are going to. We have to update it, and he's going to be filming the music videos, and he already filmed Leighton's documentary, live documentary. So I believe that the way forward now for businesses really is to have a perfect balance, where we have the corporate of serious terms and technical terms for that product placement or product, but then we need the enlightening part of it, and the enlightening part is lighten up and enjoy and express and genuinely feel the joy of being part of a mass marketing product or a new invention, instead of saying, oh, well, this is the corporate, it's the corporate, so it's part of the, we have to just go along with. Because then once they contact within their inner voice will have downloads how to enhance that product. And they don't necessarily have to sing that, but sometimes they have to sing about it in order to bring it through.
I think that's beautiful.
I do too. Dr. Chan, we have to close out the show, and we have you on Spotlight, and all of your information is here. But for people who can't read it, if they're on the radio or podcast platform, what's the best way for people to reach out to you?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dr. JACALYN and CINI. Right, so contact me. The best way is my email, madalenecarolchan@gmail.com. That's MadaleneCarolChan@gmail.com. You can find me there. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me, which a couple of years ago you couldn't find me, but you can find me now. So I'm happy to hear, and I want to hear about your life story, and I want to help. I want to see if you want help. I'm here to help. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Chan. And this show has given me a number of ideas for some new projects. So thank you.
Oh, yeah,
I see the downloads.
Mr. CINI, how do people get in touch with you, and who would you like to contact you?
Easiest way to reach me is at al.cini, al.cini @getbcat.com. If you're thinking about a team building event, if you're looking for a way to pull your team together, we've got a great solution that's very unusual and very innovative and very, very effective. And it works in a very short period of time, called ProFit for Teams. Give me a call. Let's talk about it.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you. And we do have one comment. There's someone thanking us. Ted Lepatka. Is that how you say that? Thanks for watching, Ted, on Facebook. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Ted.
All right. Thank you both for being here. I really appreciate it. I'll be chatting with you both later today, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Bye
Much
for
love
now.
to both of you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. 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 Oh, sorry. I just wanted to thank everyone and just remind you of 2 special dates this week. On Saturday, we have our live book launch party in celebration of our 2nd book in our children's series. And I'll just show you the picture of that very quickly. This is the 2nd book. It's The School of Joy. That's where it takes place. It's Lady Ella's ABCs of Listening. And this is the 2nd book in the series of the adventures of Lady Ella, the listening mentor. And as you see, there's a butterfly that is named Crystal. And that butterfly is Dr. Madalene Chan. And you see there's a donkey, Testadora, and that is Mr. CINI. So everyone on the book cover has taken our course, The Power of Listening, and become an elevated listener. So please do join us for our book launch party on Saturday. That will be at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And on Sunday, we have our first year celebration, our anniversary of 1 year of live streaming. And we have an incredible group of people who are joining us, and we'll be live streaming for 5 hours starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Mr. CINI will be co-hosting with me for the entire time. And it's worth it just to drop by and see us coordinate our outfits from a distance. So thank you again. Our next show coming up is Talking Heads with the wonderful Caroline Hewer joining us from London. She is the Harley Street stress expert. So please stay wherever you are. We'll be right back momentarily. Thank you again.